Hello friends and my dear students. My name is Rafiqul Islam, Assistant Professor, School of Pharmaceutical Sciences, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya. Today we'll be discussing a very important topic of pharmaceutics, that is prescription. And my dear students, it is a common topic for both Bachelor of Pharmacy first semester and Diploma of Pharmacy second year. So in this topic, we'll be discussing about the introductory portion of prescription and then the various components or parts of prescription. So let us first know what a prescription is. So whenever we visit a doctor, the doctor generally gives a piece of paper, you might have seen. So we go with that piece of paper to the pharmacy, and the pharmacist, on proper studying or going through the prescription, give us the medication that we should consume as a patient. So, in standard word, a prescription is a written order from a registered medical practitioner or dentist or veterinary doctor to a pharmacist to compound and dispense a specific medication for the patient concerned. So, not just the medication prescribed for a human being will only be considered as prescription. Along with that, medication being prescribed by veterinary doctors for animals will also be considered as a prescription. So, a standard prescription should include direction for the pharmacist to prepare a specific type and quantity of preparation for the patient. Along with it, direction for the patient regarding the mode of administration of drugs should be present in a prescription. Like, for example, how the patient will consume the medication and what will be the route of administration, whether it will be orally, whether through injections, or like whether it will be consumed through using warm water, cold water. So all the necessary instructions that should be given to the patient will be delivered by the pharmacist to the patient and are mentioned in the prescription by the doctor. So generally, a prescription is written in English language. Along with it, Latin words and abbreviations are frequently used. So these Latin words and abbreviations are used to save time because we know that the number of doctors in our country is quite less. So they tend to use various abbreviations instead of writing the entire sentence so as to save time. So now let us look into various parts of prescription. So a standard prescription should include all these listed components. First one is your date, then your name, age, sex, and address of the patient. Along with it, superscription followed by inscription, then subscription, signatura, renewal instructions, signature, address, and registration number of the prescriber. So all these details should be mentioned in a standard prescription. So now let us look into details one by one. So the first one is your date. So what is the significance of a date in a prescription? The date in a prescription is generally written by the prescriber, that is the doctor, whoever is prescribing the medicine. So this helps us to know when the medication were prescribed and dispensed to the patient. So this becomes very crucial in case of your narcotic and habit forming drug. So in such cases, the misuse by the patient can be prevented by checking the date when it was first dispensed. So after this, after the date, it is your name, age, sex, and address of the patient. So these details help us to identify the prescription to whom it belongs. So age and sex are very vital in cross-checking the dose that has been prescribed for the patient. So in case of your infant, the dose will be less compared to the dose that will be prescribed for your adult. So in such cases, it becomes very crucial to or become the responsibility of the pharmacist to cross-check whether the prescriber has taken due care in prescribing. Intentionally or unintentionally, there may be mistakes in prescribing. So some drugs which can be very harmful or toxic with a slight variation in the concentration or the dose of the drug. So in such cases, due care should be taken by the pharmacist. Along with that, sex should also be taken with due consideration because there are many drugs which should be avoided in case of your pregnant woman or lactating woman or even during menstruation. So, for example, antihistamines and morphine are such drugs which are excreted through the milk and should be avoided in case of your breastfeeding mothers. So the weight may also be crucial in some cases to calculate the appropriate dose. So after this comes superscription. So superscription is represented by the symbol RX as you can see in the diagram. So yes, so this is not like these are not two alphabets like R and X. It's not two separate alphabets. It is as shown in the diagram like single R strike by another straight line. So if you write like two separate alphabets R and X, that will be wrong. So it is the abbreviation of Latin term recipe, meaning you take or take dough. So this symbol is said to be derived from the symbol of Jupiter. So in ancient days, people used to consider Jupiter as the god of healing, and they used this symbol to request the god of healing to help in the immediate recovery or quick recovery of the patient by using this symbol. So from there, this symbol has been adopted. So after subscription, this is inscription. So inscription comes immediately below the superscription. Sorry, superscription contains names and quantities of the prescribed ingredients. So this becomes the most important part of the prescription. So where all the ingredients or all the drugs that should be given to the patient are listed. Each ingredients are written in separate lines. So in one line, we don't the prescriber do not mention two ingredients or two medications in one line. So all the ingredients or all the medications are listed in separate line one by one. In modern methods, compounding has been eliminated. So because all the formulations are nowadays available in dosage form, whichever to be dispensed, I mean, readily available. So after inscription comes the subscription. So subscription is the section where prescribers direction to the pharmacist regarding the type of dosage form that should be prepared for the patient and regarding the number of dose to be dispensed to the patient are mentioned. So all these details for the pharmacist from the prescriber is directly mentioned under the heading subscription. So followed by signatura. So signatura is different from signature. So don't get confused. So signatura usually is written as short form SIG. So it contains directions that should be given to the patient regarding the administration. So it generally contains the information like quantity to be taken, frequency of administration or application, mode of administration, or any special instructions regarding like dilutions or to be consumed with warm water, to be consumed in empty stomach, kaise khana hai. So all those details like how it should be consumed, whether it should be taken orally or through nasally or sublingual. So all those information regarding the administrations are under the heading signatura and usually indicated by SIG short form. So after signatura comes the renewal instructions. So prescriber indicates if the medication needs to be renewed, like if yes, like how many times it should be renewed. Particularly, this becomes very important in case of narcotic drugs and habit-forming drugs. So if the renewal instruction is properly given, so in some cases where the drugs become addictive, okay, the patient after even after getting cured, they tend to misuse that prescription. If proper date is not mentioned, then they will go and show the same prescription to the pharmacist so that the pharmacist redispense that medication list of medication just to satisfy his addiction. So that can be like the renewal instructions can be very crucial or very important in such cases where narcotic or habit forming drugs are there, so that the pharmacist can refer the renewal instructions and avoid any misuse by the patient. So the last one is your signature, address, and registration number of the prescriber. So here all the details of the prescriber, the doctor who is prescribing the medicine after the diagnosis of the patient. So all those details are there. Prescription should have all the information and must be signed by prescriber own hand. So it should be physically signed by the prescriber himself or herself. Information about the physician becomes important so that they can be contacted in case of emergencies, like if the patient is having any kind of side effects or toxic effects, so he or she can immediately contact the prescriber for immediate help. So now let us look into a typical or say model prescription. So older method of prescription. So here you can see Swastik Clinic. So this Swastik Clinic is the name of the clinic from where the prescriber is prescribing, and this is the detailed address of the prescriber's clinic or the location from where he is prescribing, and this is the phone number for contact number of the prescriber. So this becomes very crucial, like in case of any toxic effect as we have discussed, or any side effects or any problem whatever the patient is facing after the consumption of the medicine, he or she can immediately contact for any emergency help. So after that, name, age, sex, and address of the patient, like all the details of the patient is mentioned. So we have seen the role of age, then sex. Uh, After that, RX. So RX is the superscription. So you can see one symbol R and X. So after our superscription, it is inscription. So in inscription, all the detailed ingredients. This is according to the older method. So all the detailed ingredients In older days, what used to happen is we did not have the tablets, capsules, syrup ready-made available in the pharmacy. The pharmacist used to compound the medicine in the pharmacy itself according to the direction of the prescriber or the doctor. So they used to give the ingredients in this manner, like how much to be taken and how it should be prepared or how it should be mixed and given to the patient. But nowadays, all the ready-made dosage forms are available so that it can be directly given to the patient. So we'll be discussing about the modern method of prescription in subsequent videos. But for now, all the detailed ingredients along with the amount is mentioned specifically in the heading inscription. So inscription becomes the most important part of the prescription. So after inscription is the subscription. So here under subscription, the direction for the pharmacist, like how he should prepare the uh, formulation. So here it is written fiat mistura. So fiat mistura is a Latin word. Let a mixture be prepared. So fiat mistura means let a mixture be prepared. So after subscription, so this direction is for the pharmacist, like how he should prepare the formulation or how he should mix the ingredients. So after subscription comes the signatura. So signatura we have discussed. Signatura is written by a short form SIG. So in signatura, what the doctor have written here is cochlear magnum, tar in D, post cibos, and sumenda. So all these are Latin terms. So instead of this, the prescriber or the doctor can write coch mag, TID, PC, and as or some. Okay, so all these are short forms. So instead of writing the entire sentence in English or writing the full form, they can write in that way. So cochlear magnum here means 1 tablespoon. So 1 tablespoon, and tar indi means 3 times a day. Post sibos. So here sibos means food or meal. So post sibos here means food. Means sibos means food or meal, and post means after. Okay, so it will be after meal, and sumenda means to be taken. So here the instruction for the patient from the pharmacist will be 1 tablespoon full 3 times a day after meal should be taken by the patient. So renewal instructions will be given in this section, and after that, the last thing is the signature of the prescriber, the name of the prescriber, and the registration details of the prescriber will be given in the prescription. So this is basically a typical prescription which used to be used or which was prescribed in the earlier days when compounding used to take place in the pharmacy itself. So for this video lecture, I have referred to Pharmaceutics 2 by R.M. Mehta and Dispensing for Pharmaceutical Students by Carter S.J. Thank you.